Well, good morning, everybody. I never told you all my name. My name's Steve, by the way. So it's Friday morning. It looks like a really nice day out here today. Blue sky, trees are looking green, and in August we take every Friday off. So that works out nice for us. And then I try to get a bunch of stuff done around this place. I got a huge list, and I'm always trying to think, okay, what do I got to do next? Keep moving, keep moving. But in the mornings here, I saw on YouTube a guy had mentioned, and he was of retirement age. I think he had just retired, and he was like, "Yeah, I don't feel guilty about doing a soft start in the morning." I might have already said this in another video, but he's like, I'll sit down, I'll look at my computer, I have my cup of coffee, get ready for the day. Meaning like sitting at my desk and just kind of taking it easy. And I'm like, oh man, I can't do that. Yeah, I got too much stuff to do. Moving, shaking, going. End of day's coming. Burning daylight. And then I don't know, finally just and if I did do something like that, felt really guilty. Like, oh man, I just can't sit there and just like burn time like that aimlessly. But guess what? You know what? Here's what I do in the mornings now. I go like this. Look, have the coffee, click on my computer, take it easy, look, play with Finn a little bit, think about what I'm gonna do, and I don't even feel guilty about doing it. If you can believe that. I don't know. And I just don't have the energy to go like I used to. And I remember my father, when he had retired, he was probably like around, I don't know, maybe he was like, he retired at 65. And he just went, that guy. He was just like one speed, and it was like steady. And he did a lot of things. He built our house by himself, in, I don't know, 1960 something. Built the entire freaking house, had 5 kids. My mom didn't work. He had 2 jobs, and he'd come home from those jobs and he'd build that house. I think it took him 2 years. Lived in that house for 40 something years. Anyway, I remember him telling me, he's like, one thing, boy, this is after he retired. Man, I just don't know where I got all the energy all those years ago. I'd wake up and just wouldn't even think about it. I would just go. And I'm like, yeah, dad, whatever. I never really paid attention to what he was saying. I'm like, yeah, sure, pops. Yeah, you're getting older, you're retired. He's in his, 60s, 65. And I never really thought about it much until about a month or two ago. I'm like, man, that guy was right. He had noticed, just like one day, he was slowing down, got tired, just didn't have that get to go. So for me, I don't really get tired doing the projects and stuff. Once I get going, I go all day. I won't stop for lunch or anything or take a break. I just go. But getting started is the hardest part. I just like, like I got to change the oil in the tractor today. So just having to get the tools together. Okay, I'll do it. And then, get a piece of cardboard, slide underneath the tractor, lay on my back, and then get the drain plug out, have the oil go down my arm and all that kind of stuff. I don't know. I just like, man, I'd rather not do that anymore. I've been doing it always, fixing things and doing all that kind of stuff my whole life. I don't really much want to do it anymore. I don't know. Guess I'm losing interest in things. But, one thing I wanted to talk to you guys about is the stuff that we buy nowadays, how junky it is, right? So out in let me go out here. Out in the driveway and stuff here, I got all millings, right? And they work great. It's a lot cheaper than blacktop, that's for sure. But the dust is horrendous, really bad. So come on, Finn. So I'm always trying to keep the dust down in the office here, and that's really horrible. It just goes everywhere, So I got this air purifier a while back, right here, okay? And I'm like, maybe it'll help with the dust, and it has. I think I've had it for maybe a year and a half. It just sits here and it just runs, right? And Nothing spectacular. I don't know. I want to say it was like $179, something like that. This is what I have to listen to all day. Hear that? I mean, years ago, something like that would last 30 years. So that's the project today. I take it apart. Listen to that. Can you believe that? So do I really want to take the day or time out of my day today, right? Beautiful day out there, blue sky, to take apart some piece of garbage that was made in China? Yeah, I guess I have to. You're right? Or don't use it. And then I looked at another one. I'm like, maybe I need a little bit bigger one for this area, to help with the dust control and all that. I looked on Amazon yesterday. It was like $658. I'm like, there's no way. I'm not doing it. I just don't get where the prices of this stuff are coming from. And it doesn't last. If it cost me 650 something bucks and it lasts 30 years, I'd buy it. Right? But it lasts a year. So, I don't know. It's pretty discouraging. And I don't mean to be discouraging all the time. Just trying to figure out and carve out the next play here in life. And what makes you happy and where you should spend your time doing what. I struggle with it all the time. I wish when I was younger, me and my buddy would call me on a day like today. He'd be like, "Hey, what are you doing?" I'm like, "Nothing. What's up? You want to take a ride?" I'm like, "Yeah, where do you want to go?" "I don't know. We'll take a ride downtown, maybe grab the fishing poles and we'll go fishing or something." I'm like, "All right." So he'd come pick me up, we'd grab the fishing poles. We'd probably go down the river, start fishing. And then, an hour and a half later, we'd be like in some remote wood somewhere trying to explore a cabin or something we heard about, or, hiking to like an abandoned bridge or something, whatever. I don't know. But none of it was ever planned. And it would just suck up the day. And I would never be like looking at my watch. "Oh my God, I got this to do, that to do." Well, like checking the time and figuring out the schedule. Didn't do any of that. Never had to do any of it. And I don't know, we were probably did all that stuff from 14, I'm going to say 14 to 21 or so. I mean, I was always working full-time jobs, but not at 14, but as soon as I graduated high school. But just never had to think about time and if you were wasting it or not. And I look back on it and I don't feel I ever wasted any time because it was all a good time. So we had fun all those days and we just kind of tinkered around or hiked around and went exploring and did whatever. And you had a good time doing it, that's not wasted time. What's wasted time is sitting at the desk, beating on the computer, printing out stupid documents and stuff, and fighting with other businesses and other, huge businesses that try to get paid for little tiny jobs that you do. That's a waste of time. So, anyway, hope you guys all have a good plan for this weekend. I think the weather's going to be nice here in New York all weekend. And then tomorrow, I got to help my father-in-law with his boat. So, and I posted a video the other day doing things that you don't want to do, gotta sometimes just suck it up and do it. Funerals, I said family reunions, all these social events. I just don't want to do them anymore. I don't want to do any travel. I don't want to do any of those things. I just kind of want to putz around, tinker around my property. But anyway, my father-in-law always needs help with the boat. He loves to tinker with his boat. I don't want a boat and I don't want a pool. But he's got a boat and he's too old to work on it, but he wants to tinker on it. So constantly I have to kind of step in and intervene and help. So tomorrow we got to change the shifting cable, got to pull it out of the water, do it in the parking lot. I'm really not looking forward to it. And that's exactly why I don't own a boat, because a boat is nothing but work like that. And the amount of time you can use a boat up here in New York is pretty limited. So I don't want one. But tomorrow morning, I got to go and help them do it. So hopefully that only takes a couple hours. You know, what else do I have planned? I don't know. Putts around here. I'll find something to do here. I got all kinds. I got to take trees down. Got to start a fire and burn all that brush and everything. Trying to finish the yard. Trying to get some landscaping done. I got excavation work to do. I got to fix the goat fence. I dropped a tree the other day, and of course, one of those big old branches split off and freaking hit the fence and busted that. So I got to fix that. I guess there's always going to be something to do. But anyway, all right, guys, comment. I'd love to hear what everyone else feels about, like, you know, the next chapter in life and stuff. Again, I'm 58 years old, thinking about and getting close to wanting to retire. Although, you know, my business, I'm not semi-retired, but I guess I just don't push like I used to in the business world. So I guess you could say that's semi-retired, but not really. I'm just slowing down on the push, but still got to go at it. But anyway, I'd like to hear about guys my age and, you know, where you guys are going with your next chapter in life and stuff, and what the plan is. And what are you going to do for happiness and fun, hobbies, things like that. I'm curious to know. All right, guys, we'll talk to you later.